Right after I came to work at the national office, I was going through some papers and I found a letter that Roe Bartle had written to a donor that explained why, in his own words, that he started the alliance. And um, so baby boomers were just rising in age and were going to be entering programs like scouting and other youth serving programs like the YMCA. And Roe realized that those organizations needed to quickly hire well qualified people to run these programs. So he looked around to see who was preparing students for careers in the nonprofit sector. And of course, he found that no one was really doing that. So he merged two things that were important to him, which was higher education and his career pathway in the Boy Scouts, and came up with this program that he called American Humanics originally. We rebranded and now we're the Nonprofit Leadership Alliance. But originally, his name was American Humanics. And humanics was a word that he made up, but its definition was body, soul, and mind. And so his goal was to attract well qualified people who could lead youth programs in the United States.
I've lived in Kansas City all my life and worked there. I was in the accounting and consulting business. And when I first met, involved with American Humanics at that time, the name, I was involved in doing various businesses, including nonprofits, have annual audits. I was working in the early years with Arthur Andersen, which was an accounting firm, and I was assigned to do the audit of American Humanics. And so I met Roe Bartle then at that time, and when we were doing the work and the early days of America, I learned more about American Humanics and not having known anything about it. But I knew Roe Bartle, and Roe then became mayor of Kansas City, right in that time frame, and I was involved with some other things at the city. So I knew Roe in the very early days. American Humanics was started in 1948. I met Roe Bartle for the first time in 1962, and that went from there, and I became acquainted with he and his wife, and later his daughter, who was also involved in American Humanics. And Mr. Bartle was involved at the same, right in that same time frame, became president of Missouri Valley, and then back to Kansas City and in and out. And so I knew him largely then through the years with being involved things being mayor of Kansas City, but also with American Humanics and what he was doing and how he had organized and the purpose of American Humanics.
And then I was lucky my senior year, one of the courses you take is historical methods. And my professor at the time, she goes, we're going to learn more about Missouri Valley history because there's a vault full of stuff that nobody's archived. We have no idea what to do with it. So she had us go through and catalog a lot of the stuff in there and figure out what in the heck we had. And so because of that, I started to get access to a lot of amazing information that had been kind of lost for years because the 80s were rough for Missouri Valley. And so I got to see those things, and then it was time for me to write my thesis. She said, it's time to write your thesis. What do you want to write about? And I decided I wanted to write a thesis on something that was history. It was about Missouri Valley, and I wanted something that would also be part of both of my majors. I wanted a thesis that would bring, be a capstone for both of my majors. And so I decided to learn everything I possibly could about the founder of American Humanics, so H. Roe Bartle. And so I did my thesis on H. Roe Bartle and went through all the old records, and I learned so much. I didn't know he was the president. I mean, I was like, oh, he was the president of Missouri Valley College for a few years. Wow, how crazy is that? What did he do after that? He was the mayor of Kansas City? What the heck? And then, of course, my husband's favorite football team is the Chiefs. And what do I find out? Oh my goodness, the Chiefs are named for our founding father, H. Roe Bartle, and it has nothing to do with Indians. Well, it does because it's about Boy Scouts, and in Boy Scouts they love Native American tradition, and when you're in Eagle Scouts or when you're in the upper levels, you choose a Native American name, and his nickname was the Chief. So when He was the mayor of Kansas City, and he got a national football team to Kansas City. They named it for him, which was the Chiefs.
It's interesting in going through the artifacts. One of the things that I found so fascinating was back in the, I believe it was back in the late 1960s, they held an event in honor of H. Roe Bartle in downtown Kansas City, and there were 700 people in attendance. And the list of individuals, including Harry S. Truman, was at the event, but he was not even one of the primary speakers. He was kind of an afterthought, and so there were senators, there were governors, there was the President of the United States, all at this event. 700 people. It's fascinating for me because it was a fundraiser for these events or for these organizations that he supported, and for the people in the Kansas City area. There were 700 people, and the cost per plate, you could tell from the way it was written, was quite exorbitant, and it was $15 a plate. But when you think about that in what today's terms would be like, that would be $75 or $100 a plate. 700 people. That's incredible. I mean, I don't know that there are very many, if any, events that take place in Kansas City even today, when the population is significantly bigger, that would attract the 700 people.
I really didn't know how big it was and how Missouri Valley was looked at until I went to our AMI, which is American Humanics Conference, and we walked in the door. Everybody said, "Oh my God, Missouri Valley's here! Missouri Valley's here!" Because it's where it started, and everybody kind of respects the simple fact that it started in Missouri Valley, and we're still going. We're successful, and just from that, I knew, okay, this is kind of something I want to get into.
Thank you, Susan. The H. Roe Bartle Momentum Award is named in honor of our founder, H. Roe Bartle. He was a visionary and thought leader of this sector, and the truth of the matter is he was an icon. He was an icon in Kansas City, where he served as mayor. He was an icon in scouting. And I'm going to give you this little anecdote because we're here in Denver. And many of you are from the Kansas City area and realize that the Chiefs put a beat down on the Denver Broncos twice this year, eliminated the Broncos from the postseason. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs are the Kansas City Chiefs because of H. Roe Bartle. H. Roe Bartle stole the Kansas City Chiefs from New Orleans when Lamar Hunt was moving the then Dallas Texans out of Dallas. They had nearly sealed the deal in New Orleans, and Roe Bartle stole them away. And so when it came time to name this franchise, to create a mascot for this franchise, lots of names were floated. But they settled on the Chiefs because Roe Bartle was the chief. He was the chief scout. And there you have, as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story about the Kansas City Chiefs, Jim. So he was an icon. He founded this organization. You've heard some of the other references to why he was a visionary, seeing the need to develop talent, particularly in the Boy Scouts, because he was so closely connected to the Boy Scouts, and his cronies were all Boy Scout leaders and funders, and they bought into his vision of creating this organization that we're here and a part of. So we annually give this award to recognize an individual or an organization that really embodies the values and the inspiration that was H. Roe Bartle and that led to the founding of this organization. So what are the requirements? Exceptional contributions, and achievements that have advanced not only our organization, but the CNP designation itself in a sustainable and a long-term way. So this year, the winner is someone who I had the distinct pleasure of working closely with for over 10 years, a close friend, and unfortunately he passed away this year. But our award winner this year, the 2017 H. Roe Bart.
He had this vision with regard to American humanics that he had been involved in, that the future of our country and our people working in the nonprofit sector was very important to gather and get people trained to serve in various capacities in the nonprofit sector. It opened up a door, particularly for me, and I think most people that we have in business at that time. He had a way of attracting people, and ironically, in that one meeting we had where we sat around the table, when we got there, I had my report, and we were showing a big loss in the books at that time. They had the contributions hadn't come in, and we got he said, okay, you tell me how much money we're short. He said we're going to have a conference call with these people. They were all presidents, and at that time, all I knew was the companies. They were big companies all over the country, and he was able to attract largely through his relationship with scouting. A lot of those people were involved in scouting in their own communities as well.
I think he would love our students, just like he loved the students in the program back then. They are still the most energizing, enthusiastic. You know, when you get in a room with 500 college students who want to change the world, it is a energy that you can touch. It's so thick and fabulous, and it's just palpable. So I think he would love our students. We're still recruiting the same people that he wanted us to recruit. I think he would be proud of all of the changes. We, in some ways, have really improved or enhanced the curriculum over the years. We've gotten a lot stronger at that. I think he would want us to be bigger, just like we want to be. You know, he would want more people to have their credentials so that we could place more leaders in the sector.
We are still that program that H. Roe Bartle visualized and created, and our goals and our mission and our vision that we have today in many ways reflect those same ideals, right? And we've transitioned in some ways because we try to be very focused. We want our students, obviously, to succeed in 21st century America, not 1960s America. So we continue to stay focused and evolved, but that essence, those roots of who we are and who we were and who we will be are always rooted in that organization and that vision that H. Roe Bartle started at Missouri Valley College way back when. I mean, that's who we are. And we look at those pictures, we look at those individuals, we meet with alums, and it's so much fun when you get alumni and our current students together, and you watch them kind of, the conversation evolve, and they begin realizing that a lot of what they did back in the 60s, we're still doing that. We may do it online now, or we may do it through video or different things, but we're still doing those same type of programs. And that's it's amazing.
You read into this life of this man. It was just he was so amazing, and he was our president for a while. How cool is that, you guys? He's in the middle of the staircase. He was our president, and he went to be the mayor of Kansas City. We were part of his life, and it's kind of exciting. That man was big.
The people, whenever he would approach people to raise money to pay for the work that was being done, he had a real interesting approach and very convincing, and he could do a lot of it by telephone. I can remember him sitting on the phone. One of the times we had a conference call with the 12 people on the board, and he said, we need to raise this much money for American Humanics. And he said, now we'll start by everybody telling me over the phone. He said, and Mr. Pendleton is going to take notes about how much money you're pledging. And we did it all. I was amazed. And I met those same people through the years in other programs with American Humanics. And we always had a really interesting stage of anything where he'd been involved. Humanics did not have a very big office, so I just walked over downtown Kansas City, and we spent an hour or two together going through, giving me the background of American Humanics and set the stage. And he was quite helpful, but he also was quite direct in what we needed to do and what my role was in getting the work done. And I really became very understanding about the nature of American Humanics, which was new to me at that time, and its purpose and objectives. And he was so dedicated because to doing this, so that he just he thought that was this whole thing when he started the organization in 1948.
It's amazing to me sometimes to think about the period of time that he was living in and how he put all this
Public
together.
speakers. And in those days, the only thing that a sheriff had to do was to make sure that when the cowboys came to town, having been on the range for a period of a month, 2 months, or 3 months, and wanted to let off steam, that when they were shooting up the town, that they didn't wing anybody or they didn't kill anybody. So my job was to go from saloon to saloon to saloon. I went into a saloon one morning and I saw a cowboy there, and he was imbibing rather freely in spiritus fermenti. Pretty soon he got up to walk out, and he staggered out, and I thought I'd better follow that big boy. I'm going to tell you one thing. After the primary's out of the way, and I think the primary is more important than the general election, ladies and gentlemen, that's when we're selecting the people who are going to hold our party banner high. And if my party nominates a drunken bum who is wholly without character, capacity, or ability, then on the other team is a man who has clean hands and will prosecute his public trust with effectiveness, efficiency, and honesty and forthrightness, I'm going to vote for the character of men every time.
His vision was probably an army of change agents marching across the country to cure every ailment in our society today. He was extremely benevolent. He was, grew up during the Depression and he had a very blessed life. He was a lawyer. He had gone to law school. He also had, he was an ordained Presbyterian minister, so he had been to seminary. So he was very educated. I think his vision was to help people find a way to connect their values and their passion to a career that would make money and they could support their families with. And in many ways, we're still overcoming some of those misunderstandings about these career pathways. Just like they were in 1948, people saw them as lazy careers or secondary, and they're not. They're very rewarding, powerful careers, and Roe wanted people to understand that so they would choose these career pathways.
Remember a thing that was related a little bit to American Humanics. When he was mayor, I was involved with another group with the Junior Chamber of Commerce, and we were bidding to host the national convention here in Kansas City. And we went to a meeting that was I remember it very well, it was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where we met with all the people from all over the country were there. And we went there to promote why you want to come to Kansas City. And we took Roe Bartle with us to represent our group in Kansas City. And we wanted everybody to hear from him. He was a dynamic speaker. And you could hear him talk. He never used a microphone. He had a big voice. And when everybody saw him, and he was the big guy, and that voice just boomed out at you. And he walked out on stage when he made his presentation, and he was having a little trouble walking. And he walked out with a cane that he had with him, which he never used very much. but he walked out into the middle of the stage and he said in his big, deep way, I'm here to help Kansas City and you're going to know more about it. And he said, and to show you I know what I'm doing, he threw the cane out in the audience. He said, I don't need this to talk about Kansas City. I am Kansas City. I'll never forget that.
I think he would be proud of all of the changes. We, in some ways, have really improved or enhanced the curriculum over the years. We've gotten a lot stronger at that. I think he would want us to be bigger, just like we want to be. You know, he would want more people to have their credentials so that we could place more leaders in the sector.
So it never ends with him, you just continue.
Oh, you couldn't have said it better for the personality that Roe Bartle was. He was just a bundle of drive and energy, and I think he would have moved on to other projects. He was a builder, you know, he was an entrepreneur, so he would have kept moving to other projects, but he would have always come back to us. We were his favorite, I'm sure.
I could not ask for a better job. An incredible group of young people, whether it's, and now we're looking more at therapeutic recreation too. You know, how can we've got a lot of people, an aging population. We've got a lot of vets that have come back and can't do some of the things that they could do previously. And so therapeutic rec is something that we're looking to develop here as well. So, again, it's a great group. We have our moments, but most of them are good. And there is nothing better than paying it forward. So I welcome and encourage each and every one of you to come along, be a part of it. We aren't waiting to change the world tomorrow. We're changing it today.
The nonprofit major is a major where we're preparing students to get into the nonprofit sector, which is one of the fastest growing sectors in the United States. And so it's a sector that represents, I think, often marginalized populations, tries to give a voice to those who don't have one, and create some social justice and a sense of community. So the nonprofit is there to help individuals who are struggling to overcome barriers that are there, to coordinate services for them, to provide opportunities, in essence, to level the playing field.
I always knew that I, even with my nursing, wanted to work in the nonprofit sector. In nursing school, we did a clinical weekend where we worked with a nonprofit who provides healthcare to those who can't afford it. So after that, I knew I wanted to get my bachelor's, get my nurse practitioner, and open up a clinic and be able to provide services for those who couldn't afford it. So when I got here, I had the class with Professor Gold. She then told me at that class that I was going to end up changing my major, which at that time I told her there was no way I was going to always be a nursing major. I was not changing my major to nonprofit. And then I think it was a year later, I ended up officially changing my major to nonprofit.
So not a lot of people really know this about me. This is my first semester in it. This 2019 fall semester will be my first experience in NLA. It's kind of not a really motivation or per se of why. This past summer, Memorial Day weekend, one of my best friends from childhood, my first roommate in college, committed suicide. I gave the eulogy at his funeral, and it was a tough time for me. It's still something that I deal with every day, but I took a crappy situation in layman's terms, and I promised his family and our friends and people from my grade, everyone that knew Jazz, that I was going to make something good out of it, and I was going to let his legacy live on, and I wasn't going to let his memory die with that. So I decided that I want to get into mental health awareness and suicide prevention, and I know that the nonprofit does a lot with that, and I think that I learned the skills now with fundraising and volunteering that I've learned and gained within the organization to be successful in this endeavor of suicide prevention and mental health, and it's something I'm passionate about. It fires me to produce the best products. That's why I work so hard and diligently in the classes now, opposed to the major I had before. It's more than me now, I guess. I live it like I take it like he's sitting right next to me, and I talk to him, and I tell him that I'm gonna make something of it, and we're gonna make sure that nothing. Try to make it to where nothing like that has to happen, or families go through that. That's my end goal, and I think that joining NLA is gonna put me on the right track to make a difference in this world.
A lot of the students had went home, whether that be Texas, California, Montana, wherever. They were at home, but it was flooding where I was at. In Brunswick, it was severely flooded. I was in an island. I couldn't really get out of my town. We had one exit, and a lot of people were boating. And literally, the majority of NLA was texting me, "Are you okay? Is everything okay? Is there anything we can do to help?" They could not get to me. They could not physically get into my town and help me, but just the family aspect of, "Are you okay? Is there anything we can do to help?" Miss Gold and Miss Troth were already reaching out to me because we were projected to still be flooded and flood rising when school started, which the water was still there, but the roads were open, which was really nice because I could finally move and not feel trapped into my tiny little town. But it's just the aspect of they were concerned and they were willing to help. So not only do we help others, but we help our team, and we make sure everybody is okay. And if there's anything that we can do to help each other, we make sure we extend our hand to help each other too.
I don't have another one. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Cool. But, hey,
We know that food insecurity is an issue in our community. We have a lot of kids, a lot of senior citizens. We have a lot of single parents that are really struggling to make ends meet and aren't always sure where that next meal is coming from. And that was something that we saw that we thought we could have an impact. And we started very early on 5 years ago with food drives and hunger banquets and things to raise awareness about food insecurity in our community.
I think it's great. It's giving people a meal throughout the day. If they don't have one, they can go over to the Hoot Center.
See, but usually if this one
get a free meal, do some laundry, hang out. It's pretty cool.
It's going to a good cause, Helps people eat, make meat. When they can't afford it.
It's amazing the amount of food that gets wasted every year in the United States while we have so many hungry people. And so we're taking food and recovering it from the cafeteria here at Valley. With the help of Fresh Ideas, they have just been a tremendous partner to us. And so food that gets pulled off of the line at the end of lunch that would typically, it is perfectly good, it just isn't going to get eaten and it's not going to be served again. We take that food and we recover it. And so we work then to distribute it back into the community for individuals that need it.
Oh wait, Jordan, wait.
What?
I was gonna ask Alex if he could take a picture of this, because then we need a picture.
Do we?
I don't know.
Thank you.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you today? We got some good stuff here.
Okay, good. You did the side of your picture. Expecting that.
At least we'll know you guys clearly.
Every day. They're a mess. I clean every day. So what did you bring today?
We got baked potatoes, pizza, pepperoni and sausage, chicken strips,
Fries.
burgers, hot dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you taste test it all to make sure it was all right?
Oh, it's still warm.
Yeah, it's still warm right
And
now.
cheesy potatoes.
Oh, that sounds good.
So
Okay.
that was steaming when we were.
Actually, that one kind of hurt my hand a little bit carrying it. That's how warm it was. But
Well, thanks so much.
yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hope they enjoy.
I'm sure they will.
All right, well, have a good one.
Thanks so much. You have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, you too.
Thank you.
One of the things that we really work with in the nonprofit sector right now is if we are going to succeed as a sector, we need to learn to collaborate with one another. We can't be siloed where we have 3 different organizations that are all addressing the same issue, but they're addressing it individually. We need to look and at what the other organizations are doing. How can we partner? How can we pool our resources? What kind of synergy can we create amongst those organizations to have a greater impact on the people that we serve? And I believe that is the future of the nonprofit sector, and that's what we're really working hard with ourselves. We don't want to be competing for the same grant funds with another organization here in town. You know, we're not looking to take funds away from somebody to build our program. Instead, if we collaborate, we can accomplish so much more.
Is the vegetarian here?
Yeah, she's here.
We got burgers for her. Is she? She's the one that went with me. Oh.
Hey, Peyton.
I think that a lot of what we're trying to teach is leadership, and I believe that's taught by example. Fall retreat is an opportunity for us to start the year off. We have it very early on in the fall semester, where we get together, we're off campus, we go somewhere, we tend to, for us, we've been going to the park and barbecuing and, playing volleyball and things like, it's just a chance for us to kind of get to know one another. The new people coming in to the organization, to help them feel comfortable.
Gotcha. No, I'm not.
Popcorn time.
Yeah, they're all filled.
Oh.
They're just ready for pickup.
Great.
So we're picking all that up, dropping these off.
All right. Well, because last time when we went, I think they were filling up, and we were also like.
Yeah, they're popping
like
today,
picking
so
up
they'll be
too.
there
Okay.
popping.
All right.
So if you guys
Good.
want to stay and pop.
Good.
It's almost 4.
Nope.
No,
that's
it's
wrong.
an hour
That's-
off.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't change it yet.
So then we can totally stay and pop, I guess.
I did that earlier too. I was like, oh shit, it's already 3 o'clock. We're an hour late for rework.
Yeah, because those days people were lining up for the school over there. And he's like, Jesus, already? And I was like, yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah, I went and stayed with my friend after the catering thing.
Yeah.
And my phone said 5:30. Theirs said 6:30.
Yeah.
And my phone, like both of our alarms went off for me to get up and go to work. And we were like, well, which one's right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I forgot it was daylight savings time.
Yeah, I was like, well, mine's never been wrong. They're like, well, neither have mine. And I was like, well, then we need to figure it out.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, that one's really heavy. Dense popcorn. Yeah, this ain't different. No. We need another trash bag. Yeah, I didn't think it would. Put those in the middle.
Some of them are. I am happy, bro. I weigh like 80 pounds of popcorn. A lot of weight.
Changing my major was honestly the best thing that I have ever done for myself, for my family as well. I have 2 kids who are they're involved in a lot of things that we do. So is my husband, and they love giving back. They call themselves like the future NLA members. So I know changing my major. When I talk about where I go to school, they feel like, oh, that school's kind of small. Why didn't you want to go to a D1 school? Or, why didn't you go to Mizzou? Or, all those questions. And, I'm proud that I'm going to Valley. I'm proud, this is where my bachelor's degree is coming from. I'm proud to be able to say that, this campus is where nonprofit, where it started. And, this is where the degree started. It didn't start at Mizzou. It didn't start at your D1 schools with your thousands and thousands of students. It started here. And to me, that is absolutely amazing and something that, like I said, I take pride in it. And I love knowing that, the education I'm getting is outstanding. I went to a job shadow day. The lady there, she told me, I'm beyond prepared for a master's program just by doing programming with Professor Traw. The class is hard. The class takes tons of work, but, when I leave, I can build my nonprofit from the ground up.
Well, my goal to use my nonprofit degree is to one day, hopefully, move to another country and start a nonprofit ESL program or organization that offers accessible English services to those who don't first speak it, but not in a way that I'm forcing it on them, I'm American, I think you need to speak English, but on the opposite, speaking English will help you in your country, and also, I can help them through the English in other ways as well.
Nonprofit Leadership Alliance, what it means to me is professionalism. So I was very thankful and grateful for this organization because it has broadened my horizons with my professionalism and my business side of myself, and as well as community service.
Going back to Ms. Troth and Ms. Gold, they always told me, like, talk to me and like preached about time management. And that was a big thing with me, so I have to make sure that my time management is good, is at a good, like, so putting other priorities in front of what I have to do. So yeah, I got football, but it's student athlete for a reason. The student is before the athlete. So I need to make sure that I do all my classwork and other things that that I have to do for the NLA organization before sports. But at the same time, sports was what I'm here for. So I have to make sure that I set time for that.
It would be where I am, like, without them. You know, we have Professor Gold, who is loving and nurturing, and like she's a very good mentor. And, you know, if you need an office to go in and cry in, like, that's the office. If you need somebody to fix your problem, and you need somebody to be straight with you and not beat around the bush and not protect your feelings, Professor Troth is the office to go to.
I definitely see Miss Gold as a mentor and Miss Troth, but in two different ways. Miss Gold, I see her as a mentor, and she's very hands-on, she's very relatable as a professor, but also when she works in the nonprofit field. And then Miss Troth, academically, scholarly, professionally, she is a mentor for me in that aspect. So if anyone says they're mentors, I would agree with them in that.
I see them very much as a partner in our efforts to make our community a better place and make our world a better place. So, you know, I don't like using the word peer because, you know, but certainly I see them as students, I see them as partners, I see them as leaders, I see them as professionals. But I will put our impact against any other program in the country. No question. Head to head, okay? And then we do that on a scale that is, you know, we don't have nearly as many students. We're the smallest campus in the country that is, you know, in the running for this. But the impact that we have, I'm telling you, and I'm not talking about prorated. I'm saying head to head, straight up.
To this day, like the feeling when they said Missouri Valley College has won Campus of the Year, like we was all sitting at the table and we was all holding hands. And as soon as they said it, like everybody like jumped up. It was like nobody else was in the room. Like it was just us. Like it was a wonderful feeling, and like seeing like all the, cause we at that event, we sat at the back. So like being able to like walk all the way through the front and like see all the colleges looking at us like, yeah, we did it. Like, and like, it was a great feeling, like a great feeling. It's a national championship, so like, it's just like, how do Clemson win when they win a national championship? How do New England win when they win a Super Bowl? How do Golden State feel when they win the championship? Like it's just, it's a great feeling.
Like there's a picture that Aaron Poppy took, and there's a picture of like all of us like hugging Professor Gold. And you know, she's got the award held up high, you know, smile on her face. But you know, we're like, you know, we're your gladiators. Like you made us, and you pushed us. And then, you know, we got to the 300 and 400 level classes with Professor Troth, and you pushed us a little more. And now we're here.
Our students have done for so many years, you know, I mean, the commitment and the effort and the students, what they have done, what they do every year, what our community does to support us and our professional partners. I mean, I felt just so much pride and so much gratitude that those students were being recognized and their efforts were being recognized, and that our professional partners were being recognized for their support. And I felt so much gratitude that our campus and that our administration and President Humphrey and our board of directors and our 75 years of legacy for this program was being recognized and was being appreciated and was being recognized and appreciated.
A couple of whom are here tonight. We've got very passionate faculty, extremely supportive administration, and we have a community that supports us, that is equally full of needs and a willingness to empower you guys to make changes in that community on a regular basis, right? And we have amazing students, and we've had amazing students for 7 years, right? Right? And they go forth and they do amazing things in our world, and they make it better every single day. And all of you guys will too, as professionals. And tonight we celebrate that legacy of the past, the present, and the future. Valley will roll. Valley will roll.